I love Real Housewives, and I especially love Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, so let's dive into Season 12, Episode 1.
Can you believe this invitation, by the way?
It's gorgeous.
It's a 3-day situation. Look at the carrot.
I love the Tiffany blue. I'm surprised it's not pink.
You gotta figure that way back in the day, 12 years ago, the whole Hilton family was super judging the shit out of Kyle, and they're just like, oh, have fun on your little, stupid reality TV show, even though Paris had been on one, right? And I feel like I want to see a chart of, who's more famous, because obviously Paris was up here for so long, right? But I really feel like, definitely Kyle is way more relevant. I mean, Kathy was on last season. I feel like if you tracked the chart of, Paris feeling bad for Kyle trying to, get famous, at a certain point was an inflection point where, Real Housewives became a cultural phenomenon, and everyone realized, oh, wait, you've been doing this fame thing better than we have for the past decade.
How cute is that? Look at you. You've got all the bases covered.
Okay, I'm just going to give my breakdown of the Housewives as I see them. Love Kyle. She's probably my favorite of this series. I generally will side with Rinna way more than most people. Last season was a little bit hard to watch her just go down the full supporting Erika pathway with truly just no sense of seemingly caring about the victims at all. And then Erika, she's probably my top housewife where my opinion of her has changed. I was really a fan. I liked her a lot. And then, as my wrestling friends would say, she took a full heel turn. I mean, geez, she is really just laying in the villain territory. She's okay, this is fine. I don't care. I'm never going to ever show 1 ounce of remorse for any of the victims. Supposed victims. Jesus Christ. And now I feel like I'm just kind of watching her in horror like a car crash.
I'm going to let you eat 3 because that was great division.
I like Crystal. I think that she had a pretty strong first season. I feel like first time housewives, a lot of the times, they're just given the whole season to kind of exist. But Crystal actually had some storylines. I think it was nice that her and Sutton were both first seasoners, so they were able to battle each other and be okay, we're going to rely on each other for storylines. And I feel like that felt less intimidating to both of them.
I like it deep and hard.
I'm not a Sutton fan. She's interesting. She's entertaining. I'm glad she's here so that I can cringe and hate her. Hate's a strong word. Sutton's just not my type of person. I would really, I don't think I'd ever like to hang out with Sutton. I think that we have core soul disagreements on what it means to be a human being. She's just so privileged and so fragile, and that's saying a lot for this group of women and housewives in general. Garcelle, here's a lot of not a lot. Some housewives fall into this category, and Garcelle is probably my biggest example. Seems like a great person, seems cool. I feel like I could be friends with her. Doesn't bring a lot to the show. Could have her off the show. Don't care. Really don't care about the Garcelle-Sutton friendship, except, again, that at least they were trying to bring up the Erika Jayne stuff. So it's it's weird because they were right in that issue, at least to question it, It was, really sketchy what was going down. But, their little, gal pals, I give 0 fucks about.
Phoenix, you're always thinking about candy.
Dorit's had an upwards arc for me. I feel like and some housewives, I feel like you saw with Noella on OC last season, some housewives come on season 1 and they're I will be here more than 1 season, so they do the most insane shit just to guarantee that second season. I felt like Dorit came out with that energy, and she kind of kept it for a while, and then it slowly started to burn off. And now I like her more. I feel like she's been able to kind of relax and show some non-evil sides. It seems like just from the sheer amount of people saying that she talks too much, that she's really fucking annoying to be around sometimes.
I've been married for all of my adult life.
Okay, here's what I'll say about Erika. I can appreciate, you've been married for your entire adult life. It seems like she, didn't have an easy childhood and stuff. So, okay, and then you get that rich. So, it's going to be an adjustment. You're going to feel really, really bad for yourself. But at the same time, you were still a fully formed human that did go through all that poverty in Georgia, right, as a child. And you should be able to draw on those memories to feel bad for plane crash victims. The wealth shouldn't detach you. And that's what's scary. That's what we learned. The wealth does detach you. And also, okay, here's the thing about Erika, is that if this had been any other housewife, any other fucking housewife, she would have absolutely been the one that I was looking at to go after and be like, hey, I grew up poor. What are you doing for the victims? We know that you're going through a divorce. We know you're going to lose your money, but let's keep our eyes on the real thing here. It's the people that are actually going through actual, like, really hard times. Okay, fine. She's going through a really hard time, public eye, so fine. She's going through, but like actual, they're not going from, multi-million, tens and hundreds of millions to six figures. Oh no, six figures, like when you're bottoming out is still high six figures, you need to realize that we can't have that much sympathy for you and that there are people that actually needed that fucking money and that you should feel sorry for them. So that's the thing that I can't get. There's a version of Erika explaining how devastated she is and us really seeing the loss of her lifestyle and all of that, where I do feel bad for her. And that version involves her really, really, really putting those victims first and always having grounded in reality. Here's what's happening to me. Here's what's happening to them. And yes, I'm feeling sorry for myself, but I'm never losing sight of what's happening to them and what did happen to them. And she just lost the ball. Couldn't get there.
And they came with me as my guest. I never got a thank you.
I mean, I guess thank you, Sutton and Rinna, for like giving us episode 1 something to talk about, but it's all pretty nothingy. And yeah, like, I don't care about any of these fucking thank yous. I don't care about one single goddamn thank you. Like, I just skip the plot. Like, don't want to hear more about their kids or their charities? No, I guess I want this over that. Okay, sure.
It's so hurtful. I consider Sutton my friend. Honestly, I would not.
Or is it literally your job and you're happy that you're featured episode 1?
Here's someone who says she's so perfect in her etiquette. Well, bitch, no.
That's true. Sutton is a hypocrite. Sutton's etiquette. Yeah, it's a tricky game to claim that you have the best etiquette because you can really get called out easily.
Sorry.
Picked the wrong bitch.
Do you think Rinna is kind of scared of Erika? Because Rinna really made a choice to back her hard no matter what, right? And it didn't seem like they were that best close of friends where you would never, and she questioned her the least out of anyone, right? Like, what made Lisa just decide, like, I'm team Erika no matter what? Because now it's interesting how the housewives, they have these bonds and these alliances, and they are like the tightest alliance going to this season. I wonder, I would guess that we're not going to see it crack this season. I would guess that we're going to see like maybe 2-3 more seasons before Erika and Lisa get in a fight. Maybe just 2 more.
Tell me you're that girl. I don't see color.
I
Yes.
really don't see color. Sutton and I are...
One of the best moments of last season. Crystal earned her season 2 just by that moment. Oh, and so did Sutton.
How's everyone else? How's everything going?
We're good.
I'm down for this friendship. I didn't need another season of them fighting. Also, my main vibe with Sutton is just her incredibly low self-esteem. I mean, yeah, she's chaotic and everything that she demands, it's all coming from such a place of her not believing in herself. Like, whatever her parents did on her was a number.
Handsome,
Yes.
tall, educated, and likes cats.
And born in the 1%, born in the 0.1%. Yeah, there's no way. Sutton seems like she is the type of person that judges your soul based on how much money your family makes. Remember last season she's talking about how she gets off on the auction, the thrill of the chase? It's like, there's no chase. It's just, in your case, you didn't even earn the money. Were you gifted enough money by family that you can just be the highest bidder? There's like that really exemplified like how little she thinks of herself. She has no skills, no nothing. She's bringing nothing to the table. Like, her happiest moment is just like when she remembers that she happened to be born with more money than almost anyone else.
When you order Taco Bell and you don't remember it, but the wrappers are in the kitchen, that's a problem.
And that's weird because it's like, look how vulnerable she was actually able to be. I'm sure a lot of other housewives have been in a similar situation to that. And like, Erika was actually able to just like explain it and like say it. And that's what's so weird when you're missing the actual transparency or the understanding of like what the problem is and what you should be thinking with the actual case.
Are you gonna apologize?
To who?
Sutton.
For what?
You threatened her.
How?
For what? For what, Erika? Erika.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, but that means anything.
It means anything. And, like, Erika, the delusion. Ugh. Okay, I mean, it's not like she's even a top housewife on delusion, you know? Like, they all have their intense delusions, but this one's bad.
And when someone is repeatedly saying things...
But weren't all the girls saying things?
Yeah, but she led the charge. Sutton spoke very strongly.
Well, she was the one willing to say stuff, I'll give her that. Leading the charge, everyone was leading the charge up here besides Rinna, doing their own thing. And then, I mean, they're scared of Erika. Erika must be very scary to be around. They did not want to confront her at all. I mean, like, they really, really, really soft-pedaled around that. Like, yeah, I will say that, like, for Sutton's ups and downs, the rest of them were cowards for not bringing this up. Absolute cowards.
I guess the question is, like, is the proof available to the public?
Yeah, duh. Tell them to go and read everything that my lawyers put out and that they can answer their own questions. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, I think my take on Erika, also based on past seasons, is just, like, she can be pretty logical and grounded and understand reality, except when you, like, enter this sphere of things that she's triggered about. And, like, it's just, there's just a certain, like, a void zone. And it's like, if you enter this void, she doesn't even think about it. She isn't even registering to think about it or to process it. It goes immediately, defend yourself as hard as you can, and then force them to back down because you're attacking, and then that will make it stop. Like, she really can't engage at really almost any level. Like, even her previous tactics, screaming at Garcelle, what did I say? What did I say? Erika, this has been months. You know what you said, and you know that if Garcelle repeats it to you, it's going to look really bad. You know that those moments at the dinner were some of, like, the most intense moments of the season. They got replayed over and over again. Not only does Garcelle and Erika know what you said, but, like, we all know what you said. You should be trying to back down and change that perception versus, like she had no leg to stand on. So I feel like in these areas that trigger her so badly, there's just no thought, no elaboration, no working out, because if she did do that, she'd start to realize that it's not coming off well for her, or she's just so defensive that she just can't engage.
I feel like that sums you up in a nutshell. Glamorous, gorgeous, and giving back.
I'm really glad to see Garcelle kind of fitting in with Dorit more. I assume that Garcelle also maybe is having some friendships with other women as well. I do feel like, I mean, it's got to be a pretty tense space to come in and be some of the first POC ever. And, like, I think just a lot of Garcelle's, you know, her kind of bad attitude last season, it's like there's just this unspoken tenseness that being in that group, and especially with the clickiness, they know each other, blah, 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 all that stuff too, but also just how white this space is and how white Beverly Hills is. So it feels like, honestly, like, I feel like their big conversation about it was like kind of like a D version of, like, the A version that Summer House had this season. But I do think that probably the women took out of it, like, I need to, like, do a little bit more reach out with Garcelle and not just do the pure harsh cutoff. I don't care. I'm not going to show you any warmth. So this makes me happy. Again, Garcelle, have you brought plot lines? No, you're just a normal person who seems nice. Again, I like her better as a human being than any of them. As a housewife, I don't know why you're here.
When they came into my bedroom, when he had the gun to my head, I thought, this is it. This is how I'm gonna die. And I begged them and I told them, let me help you. I'll show you where everything is.
I mean, yeah, that's terrifying. Like, obviously, anyone breaking into your home is terrifying, but the fact that she had a gun at her head, that's scary. I don't know. There's not much to say besides that's horrifying, and that's just a real human moment. That's so scary.
I honestly think that something like this, I don't know how you recover from that.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd recover. I don't know how long it would take me. That's scarring, a horrible life event that you don't want to have happen.
What flyers are you putting out?
Oh, gosh.
You know, I've got this French designer that I'm bringing in. Immigration is just, listen.
That doesn't seem like a fire after what.
You know, there's the big reality TV thing, right? Is it fake? Does it seem real? Like, how much of it is real? These are the moments. These are the moments. If Sutton knew what people were going to perceive of her for having this reaction, no matter what her actual emotional reaction was, you couldn't have paid her to do this. This is maybe, like, it's just so detached. No, I don't think she's a psychopath, but this is a psychopathic behavior to not be able to conceptualize. Like, your coworker had a gun pointed at, like, and then she does a little humble brag. This French designer. This is why I hate Sutton. This is why Sutton is just, she's broken. And they're all broken, we're all broken. But the fact that Sutton is broken in this way and that she doubles down and denies it is just, it's why I know I don't want to know this person. If you have this reaction to violence like this, I have no interest in knowing you.
Well, it is for me and my business and what I'm trying to do. And
I know, but I was expecting you to say something.
My business that Daddy gave me millions of dollars and my divorce gave me millions more. And, you know, I'm just working for fun here and I'm on a fucking TV show, but my business.
It wasn't held at gunpoint, I'm sorry.
Plus, your other friend who's a foot away from you is crying. So that's also, in case you were detached or you weren't thinking about it, your other friend is crying. Don't cut them off. I mean, I don't think that was edited that much. I don't think Kyle talked about this thing for like a half hour and then Sutton mentioned it up. It seemed like she was like pretty immediately being like, I need to talk about the fires I've been putting out.
It's so funny. This morning I was like, I'm going to get a therapy session on Monday, and I did. So I'm going on Monday. I don't know, just like feel this weird energy.
I relate so much to Kyle in that moment, just checking out and becoming like a, oh, okay. And the person doesn't even notice. Ugh.
I guess maybe unlike Erika, I don't need money. I don't need that in order to make myself feel better. Maybe.
Also, because Daddy gave me all the money I'll ever need, and my divorce gave me twice of that. Sutton.
So she has to look for someone that can provide.
Sutton, you would kill yourself if you had to go to mid-6 figures. You would kill yourself.
Don't talk to me like that.
Or what?
Seriously.
Or what?
Or nothing.
Right, exactly. Shut the up.
That was Sutton's best line. Or nothing.
I know that she probably.
Don't threaten people. Oh, God, I hate how they all have their weird moments.
I have apologized, but I know that it wasn't enough.
You look great. Nice to see you.
And she's still thinking about that.
I mean, yeah, they all have to do the Bravo reset. I think the part that I couldn't handle the most about being on one of these shows is that you have to do the Bravo reset. The next season, if you don't forgive pretty much everyone for everything, you're just dragged the entire season and everyone else moves on, doesn't care about you anymore, and then you just look crazy. Even though in reality, yeah, if you had been Sutton at that dinner, you'd never ever get over it. You'd never get over how mean Erika was, and you'd never get over how your friends really didn't stick up for you at all when you were like the only one voicing what they all wanted to be voiced and what they were thinking. And also, like, if she hadn't taken one for the team, the producer would have picked somebody else and been like, you have to talk about this. So, Kyle, though, she's a veteran. She knows it's like, okay, it's New Year. We just have to get over it. Like, Erika's not in prison. Like, okay.
Kidding me? But I don't know how she's even able to leave her house.
Yeah, I saw a Reddit post that was like, how did they even film the day after shooting? And I also don't know. I can't imagine being in this state. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say anything cynical in this area because, like, that's just so fucking traumatic to be fucking held at gunpoint.
But all of a sudden I hear the door open.
And they came into the bedroom, too. That's fucking terrifying. I wonder if they thought someone was home.
And the other guy was going, just kill her. Just kill her.
Man, hearing that, just fucking kill her. Yeah, you'd assume it. You'd be like, this is it. This is fucking it for me. Oh my God.
To move on.
You need to get in therapy, Dorit.
Right away. I know, right away.
Do you wish Sutton was there right now? What if Sutton was in the room going, and my French designer?
You got to talk to somebody.
Right away.
And look, we're your friends.
And Erika immediately being like, get into therapy. Oh, Erika, the insight / the blindness.
There were irreplaceable items that they took, but doesn't matter to me whatsoever.
Like, sure, is the system that they're in, the fact that they're able to accumulate so much wealth, like ethical, and like is burglaries like just kind of inevitable to the point where you're flaunting your wealth all the time and there's a billion injustices? Like, yes, all that's true. Also, it must be fucking terrifying to have your life threatened like this. All right, that is episode 1 of season 12. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.